Hey everybody, welcome to Free Range Art Farm. My name is Thomas and I am a beekeeper. Well, most days when I'm filming videos I'm a beekeeper, but today I'm hopefully going to be a mite killer. It is time, let's see, what is it? Middle of September 2023, and it's time to do some mite treatments. If you guys don't know, varroa mites are kind of the bane of beekeeping, or bees really. They were introduced to this country accidentally in the late 80s, and that's probably a couple years later is probably when you guys started hearing about all the issues with bee population and losing bees. Well, the bees here, we have European honeybees, and they don't know how to coexist with varroa mites. So until the genetics comes around and that kind of war between the parasite and the host ends up balancing out, where the bees can really survive with the varroa mites in kind of a harmonious relationship, if you will. Until then, we've got to do things to try and save the honeybees and keep them alive. So today is all about mite treatments. We did some mite tests last week, mite checks, where we actually go through and you kind of do this thing that you pour some alcohol on, you take up half a cup of bees, around 300 bees, you scoop them up, you pour some alcohol in there, you shake the crap out of it. Unfortunately, all the bees die, but the mites fall off of the bees, and then you can do a count. And from that, you can get a percentage. And if it's above 3%, they recommend treating. I generally treat, if I find mites at all, I generally treat. We had one colony out there that had, well, we stopped counting at like 20, 25 mites, so that's about a 10% infestation, so that's pretty bad. That colony may not survive, hopefully it does, but we're going to give it its best shot by trying to kill some mites. And I'm going to use a product that I haven't used before. I try to switch up the products that I use. Like, I've used Apiguard, I've used Formic Pro, I used oxalic acid, and this year I'm going to use product called Apiguard. It comes in a couple of different forms, but this one is a large bucket where you can use it comes like in a gel. You'll see out there in the yard when I put it on. You can also get that like in a tin where you just kind of open it up and the gel is already measured out. This is a little bit better value for me. So, I've got about 14 colonies, and we're gonna have to do probably 3 rounds of treatment, 2 to 3 times. You do a treatment today, 2 weeks I'll come back and do another treatment, and then 2 weeks later I'll do another treatment. I'm trying to follow the directions as best I can. For those of you who have experience with Apiguard, if I do anything wrong, please mention it down in the comments, because I like to learn as well as helping other viewers learn and make sure they're doing it right. You see me swinging around this hive tool, and I just kind of want to show it off. I just spent this last weekend, hopefully this will focus, in Zanesville, Ohio, at the first annual Creator Convergence, hosted by the Nature's Image Farm. So give them a check. Also, Castle Hives, give him a check, and Bruce's Bees. They are part of what's called the Stream Team. And it's just these 3 beekeepers that every week they do a podcast, and we just share and we talk about bees, and everybody just kind of helps everybody. And so Greg, Nature's Image Farm, hosted a Creator Convergence where a bunch of us YouTubers kind of got together, and we just had kind of a field day on Saturday where we got into bees, we talked bees, we did a podcast. Well, we didn't. The Stream Team did. I'll go ahead and try to remember to link that below. I think I was going to link it below. I went ahead and put out a video that I'll try to link up here. Of the weekend, that day, just kind of a quick highlight. But anyway, they handed out hive tools, so we're going to use this today, and I think it's kind of nice for the first use of this is going to be helping keep the bees alive. So I'm going to get my smoker lit, and we're going to get out to the apiary, and I'll show you at least how I'm applying this Apiguard and Apiguard. Got to get it right. Apiguard is what I'm using. Apiguard are little strips. This is a gel. You'll see. Anyway, we'll see you out there in, and just like that, we're out in the apiary. So I think what I'm going to probably do is just show you guys the application, you know, one application, because you don't need to see me doing the same thing over and over and over again. According to the directions, you know, there's kind of a temperature window. It's more like, it's a pretty wide window. It's not as narrow as like Formic Pro. Well, Formic Pro is more like it can't be above this temperature. And the Apiguard has like 100 degrees high end, and then low end you need it to be above 60, something like that, at least for the majority of the day. And then, so I should have been prepared a little better. So then you've got this syringe, and according to the directions, as best as I can tell, regardless of if you have a single brood or a double brood, you need to use 51 milligrams, which is very specific. So in theory, all you do is you just kind of put this in the gel and you just go suck it right on up until it gets to 51, and then you squirt it out onto these cards, and you'll see when I do it. But anyway, I'm gonna just do it on this first colony here on camera. The other thing I'm going to do today is just kind of remove my queen excluders, just so they're all gone for the winter, just to make sure everybody's ready and good to go. And then we'll probably wrap the video. This will be kind of a shorter one, hopefully. I get long-winded, but anyways. So let's get right to it. So what we've got is these little cards come with the kit. And that's what you put the gel on inside the colony. But you can use like cardboard, I think, and just about anything. And this tells you stir well before each use. I'm not entirely sure what I need to stir it with or how much I need to stir it. So we're just going to kind of inaugurate the old hive tool here. I kind of feel bad, but we're going to give this a stir. Again, I'm not entirely sure how much it needs to be stirred, but this is the first time I've used it, so I'm going to try and give it a good stir. Let me get the hive tool kind of cleaned off as best we can. Now there's some minor precautions with using this product, but it's not, you know, as bad as like OA and a few others. So, and I'm going to go ahead and try to get this syringe loaded up to 51 milliliters. Let's see how this goes. That went poorly. Why am I not getting anything in here? Okay, first lesson learned. There's a cap on the syringe, you idiot. All right, let's take the cap off. Yeah, this is going well now. Ta-da! All right, we got a little bit more here. 51. Okay, so I've got that ready to go. Now we'll switch over here. So these girls might be a little spicy, because I'm pretty sure we're in a dearth out here. Now in a lot of parts of Virginia, we've got goldenrod blooming, but I don't feel like I've got goldenrod close enough to make my girls very happy. So I don't think I get much of a fall flow. So we'll see how spicy these girls are. They're one of my, I wouldn't say nicer colonies. They're sort of in the middle. So let's give this a go. All right, smoker going. I've already smoked them a little bit. Take the lid off. Go ahead and take the center cover off. I'm not going to necessarily check real hard for the queen because there is a queen excluder. Set that down there. Take this box off. This is a heavy box. These girls are set for winter. They should be. Oh. All right. Get this queen excluder off. Then we're going to have to go down one more. Oh yeah, see, they're coming after me. They're coming after me. Alright, girls, you're fine. And then, of course, my smoker being a bit of a stinker today. But, alright. I don't need to smoke them too much. I'm not going to be in them for very long. You know what? This actually might be a brood nest up here, even though I'd have it as a super. Let's check. We've got brood in here. I'm going to put the treatment right on top of this. That's honey. It's alright, girls. Of course, there should be honey in the outside edge. Alright, let's see. What do we have here? Alright, we've got some brood in here. Yeah. Alright, so we're going to call this the top of the brood chamber. And we'll get this Apiguard applied. And then I will turn the video camera off so I can take care of all the rest of my girls real quick. So here we have the card. And you just kind of want to set it on the kind of where the brood chamber is. And then I'm sort of spreading this around. Probably much neater than it needs to be. Alright. There's that. Put this box right on top. Inner cover back on. And we'll put these girls away. Hey gang, so in the interest of full disclosure, sometimes we all make mistakes. Just wanted to share with you what happens when you have a dead out colony and you kind of neglect them for a few months. I have this Lands hive has some serious wax moth damage. I mean, look at that. Now you want to see what kind of damage they do to wood? I don't know if you can really pick it up. These are all divots in here. And there's all this crap at the bottom. All these wax moths. So, what a bummer. I didn't lose the colony, but I certainly lost wax, that's for sure. So, I'll have to figure out what I'm going to do with these frames because I don't have a freezer big enough to freeze them. So, I don't know. More to come. In the meantime, I think I'm just going to leave them out in the sun because the wax moths, I don't believe they like the sun very much. So we're going to try that. Well, gang, so that was adding the Apiguard stuff to colonies. It actually goes pretty quick. I think it's a pretty decent, easy solution to, to killing mites. Formic Pro is pretty much just as easy. You'd open the thing. Actually, it's a little bit easier because you don't have to measure anything. You just lay the little patties down. I believe Formic's a little bit more harsh on the bees, but as long as you do the ventilation and follow the instructions, Formic works great. The Apiguard strips are also pretty simple, but just a couple of strips. You just have to put them in and then you forget about them for like 42 days or whatever it is. So really, mite treatments aren't that difficult. They're not that time consuming. You just have to do them. Killing mites is so important. Anyway, I won't get on any kind of a rant about protecting your bees from mites. Sometimes I don't do a great job of it either, but it is super important. So anyway, everyone, thanks for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed today's content, and if you have any questions, comments, thoughts, concerns, critiques, whatever, hit me up in the comments below, and I guess we'll catch you next time. So be good, be well, be safe, be happy, be true to yourselves, and as always, be mindful of the bees wherever they are. We need them. Thanks, everyone. Catch you next time.